hello. I'm back with pot. See all that pot? It's a lot of pot. Got it last night. I don't waste much time anymore, especially since I quit smell that. Ooh. Since I quit consuming this and smoking it and consuming it and smoking it, I've been way more productive. That's not to say that I won't ever go back to not being productive, but I don't know. I'm on a roll, so I might as well keep on rolling. It's been almost 2 months without it. Let's see, when I went and picked this stuff up last night, I prayed about it, but I noticed that it wasn't as hard. You know, like I wasn't anywhere near as tempted to smoke this as the last time that I picked up a bag of weed. So, we're making progress. And this weed smelled better than the last weed. So, God is real. I'm just, tossing out some of the stems. There's some tiny ass stems that are left in the mix. No seeds in this batch. I mean, everybody told me the cookies were good though, so it's not like I'm concerned that they wouldn't be strong, because I'm pretty good at this shit now. I've been doing it long enough. If I wasn't good at it, I should just kill myself. Yes. That's always the right action. Uh-huh. But I'm actually about to get high, though. Like, just smelling this stuff. Hi! Do you hear them? They keep whining. I just fed them though, so I don't know what they're whining about. They're feminists. They whine about everything. They really are. They're pussies. Get it? They're cats. They're pussy cats. Okay. So yeah, I gotta decarboxylize this weed. If that's the right word, I still am not sure if I'm saying it right. And after I decarboxylize it, I'm gonna put it in a crock pot full of butter. Goodbye, weed. You're not really saying goodbye to it. Well, I guess you're saying goodbye to it in its natural form. It's once it's like decarboxylized or whatever, it'll be stronger. I really don't know the process. Supposedly, when you put it in the oven, it releases the THC vapors to make it more potent. So, the friend of mine that told me how to do this, he said that was a very crucial part of it. Now, I know people that have no idea what decarboxylation is, so maybe it's not even necessary, but we all just tell ourselves it is. I really don't know, but I'm just doing it because I get high for 40 minutes. But, let's see. Y'all see me? Good. So I was gonna try to make vegan cookies
because I've had requests from vegans. But the thing is, if I were to do that, I would have to change like my entire process. Like not just cook with coconut oil, like I would have to change my mixture, everything. Cause like the cookie mix that I get is made with milk. So, you know, I'm not gonna lie to these people. I'm not gonna do that. Wheat, milk, and soy may contain eggs and tree nuts. So, those of you in the vortex that appreciate these videos, are you appreciative because you think I'm going to take a crap? Or are you appreciative because I'm doing something authentic? Are you appreciative because this is the realest motherfucking thing that you've seen in like 25 years? Are you appreciative of this because you agree with me politically? Are you appreciative of this because you agree with me on a psychological level? Are you nuts? You probably are. What kind of question is that? Hold on. Have you guys ever heard of something called rhinotillexomania? This is really embarrassing for me. Well, I'm sure you guys have probably picked up on the fact that I'm severely OCD and that I bite my nails a lot. And, well, I've been picking my nose since I was a kid. I never really thought this was problematic. But sometimes my nose will bleed. But I went to like this ear, nose, and throat specialist because I thought that I was dying of cancer. I went to get like my throat inspected. And when he was peering inside my nose, he asked me repeatedly if I did any cocaine. And I said, no, I hate cocaine. And he assumed that I was lying. But, like, I didn't want to tell him, like, yeah, I'm, like, a chronic nose picker. Because there's such shame in that, you know? Like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen me do it. It's not a big deal. I mean, lots of people pick their nose. I mean, I think everybody picks their nose, they just don't talk about it. It's just some people do it more than others, right? Well, everybody picks their ears. Why is it okay for you to pick your ears? But it's not okay to pick your nose. It's okay to like clean the eye boogies out of your eyeballs whenever you wake up. It's okay to like scrape your mouth of plaque. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully a dentist will do that. Well, hopefully it's not that bad, you know? But if you have like food in your teeth or something, like you pick it out, right? So if you have like a bunch of like what you would perceive to be mucus and you're constantly, it's just an OCD thing. Like it's a severe OCD trait. But yeah, this guy told me that I had a hole in my nose. He's like, yeah, you have a punctured septum. So I understand why he assumed that I did massive amounts of coke. But it's not as bad as it could be. Like, I was reading about it. And so this is why I always keep hankies with me. It's not just because I cry all the time. It's because, like, I'm always picking my nose or blowing my nose. It's like I'm obsessed with, like, not having any mucus in my nose. Just, like, if I have like, I know this is like another thing. I forgot the name of it, but like when you're constantly like biting at your fingernails and the skin around your fingernails, like I'm always picking at my cuticles. Like I can't stop picking at stuff. And like I used to pull my hair out, like, sorry, it's so spit. I used to like pull my hair out when I was a kid. I had a bald spot for a little while. But I talk about this because this is like really embarrassing because nobody wants to admit that they like pick their nose a lot, you know, because there's so much shame in it. Even though everybody does it, they just do it behind closed doors. Just like everybody does a lot of stuff, they just do it behind closed doors. I mean, everybody takes a shit, right? Why is there so much shame in that? Like, if you didn't take a shit, there'd be major problems. But, you know, just like... That tasted weird. Anyway. I had this former friend that, well, hopefully she's still alive, but who knows, because apparently she relapsed. That's what I heard from her last boyfriend. But she used to be my sponsor. She was my first sponsor after I got out of a treatment center when I was 20 years old. And she could stick her finger through her nose and it would come out the other side. But that's because of massive quantities of cocaine. I can't do that though, so my nose isn't that bad, but I still, like, I have a hole in my nose and like my nose whistles. So I talk about this not because I want to freak people out in the vortex, but I want you guys to know that it's okay to be weird and to do things that are, you know, off, you know? See, look. Do you see that? It says Freud would have surrendered. All of them would have surrendered, really. Freud, Jung, who else? It's sad that like I don't know like any major like psychoanalysts aside from those two people. It's like I was so fascinated with psychology when I was growing up. Like when I was in high school, I got an A in my psychology class because like I paid so much attention, you know. A lot of times, like I'm sure you've noticed that I have ADD, but a lot of times people, you know, can't pay attention because like what they're asked to pay attention to is fucking boring. And so that's why there are a lot of tricks involved in paying attention, you know, like note cards and, you know, you come up with little mantras, little songs, like, to like, you know, remember stuff, acronyms, like, I'll always remember acronyms from AA. Some of them are really stupid, but I think that they help, like they really do. There's one that always helps me. It's HALT. It encourages you to be aware of yourself. It encourages you to take better care of yourself. So if you are hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you should address that right away. Now for me, because, you know, I'm anorexic, you know, it was usually hungry. So I'd address that. I would go get something to eat.
If I was angry, I would be like, God, please take care of this. You know, lonely, God, please take care of this. Tired, well, either get some coffee or go to sleep, you know? You know, there are ways to immediately address a problem. You know, like, what can I do about this right now? Rather than freaking out about the long term. Hold on a second. I'm going to experience something great. Hold on. Ooh, that was nice. This is like a nice little treat, you know? Like, it's like my reward. I'm actually like not making money. Like, it's crazy because like people say like, man, you're not making a profit off of it. That's really stupid. Like, so you're buying all this weed, but you're just like, I am like making my money back, but I'm not making a profit. And I tell myself this is like the hippie way to do it. And you might say, oh, that's stupid. Because like nobody's paying you for your labor, nobody's paying you, what labor? I work all the time. Like, I like to work. Work is money to me. Like, working makes me feel good. And especially when I do other things. Like right now, see, this is part of the process. And I get to get high for this part of the process. But when what was I going to say? When I make the butter, I mean, basically, like, y'all see me do it. I just put the wheat in there and stir it, like, about every 30 minutes. And some people cook it for 2 hours. I try to cook it for at least 4. Hello, Arlo. He's always meowing at the door like there are people outside. You know, maybe there are. Only he knows about them. Hey. Wow. Wow. Oh. I don't know what he's saying. It always bothers me, you know? Like, what if he's saying, like, really important shit? What? When's the world gonna end, Arlo? See, I live in 2012. Remember when they were saying that the world's gonna end in 2012? But it didn't. They were also saying that all the computers were gonna crash in 2000, but that didn't happen. They were also saying that global warming was gonna take this planet out, but that didn't happen. So I think they're full of shit. You know? That's just my assumption, but I could be wrong though. But, you know, as far as like global warming is concerned and climate change and all that shit, it's not that I don't like believe that the planet hates us for reasons that I can completely understand. But I don't think that we can fix it. And I think that's pretty arrogant. Like, that's such an arrogant thing to think they can fix. Like, the reason I hate psychiatry is because, like, not only is it completely wrong and totally false, but it's like, it's so arrogant. It's like, who are you to think that you can fix somebody's brain? Like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me what's going on inside my brain? Just let me figure it out, damn it. You know? But I would say the same thing about these, like, earth doctors. Like, who the fuck are you to be like, I know how we're gonna fix this shit. Let's donate $93 trillion to the giant government furnace. And then... what's part of this, like, Green New Deal? Oh my god. It's like, let's get rid of all the buildings that we have now. Let's get rid of them and replace them with, like, energy efficient buildings. They want to do that with cars, which would require, like, every street to have, like, those, whatever the fuck, like, energy pumps or whatever, which would be insane.
Because apparently, like, you have to charge these cars, like, every, like, 3 hours or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I know that it's very, very complicated. And so, and of course, like, conservatives are like, oh, she wants to get rid of cows. But, you know, that's part of it, though. That is part of it. No more planes, only trains, even across the ocean. We're going to figure it out. Like all of the, what do you call them? The ovens that are, God damn it. I feel so stupid whenever I try to talk about anything. We're gonna have to replace all the ovens and all the stove tops with like, you know, environmentally conscious stove tops and ovens. It requires a lot of like tearing down and like reconstruction and all that, which, you know, it's like I was thinking about it today, and I was like, you know, you can't really talk sense into a socialist because they don't believe in sense. You know, like, really and truly, like, socialism is nothing more than an ideal, you know? And you can't really go with an ideal. I mean, I would say the same thing about libertarianism, aside from the fact that libertarianism actually works to those people that apply it in their daily life. As a philosophy, on an individual basis, I would say that it works. But that's because libertarian philosophy is based upon individualism. Socialism is not, for obvious reasons. Just the name itself implies collectivism, which I fucking hate with passion. I mean, really, like, the reason I left Alcoholics Anonymous was because it was too collectivist, groupthink. If you say something and it's different from what we've been saying in the meeting for the past hour, like, you know, you're gonna get chastised. And, you know, there'd always be somebody that would, like, pull me aside, like, later on, after I'd speak and piss everybody off in the meeting. They'd be like, God, I'm so glad you said that. I'm like, really? I wish you'd have the balls to, like, stick up for me in front of all the vultures. But, you know, whatever. God just watched you be a weak-ass person. But it's like, it's not that I don't understand idealistic people, but I guess I just am not, like, that stupidly optimistic. I just don't understand how people can even be optimistic about socialism of all fucking things. But, you know, sort of this idea of, like, forced equality. I mean, you can't really enforce equality. Like, equality exists. Like, we're all equal in the eyes of our creator. But since a lot of these motherfuckers don't believe in God, we're not equal unless we force it. Unless the government mandates equality. And even then, how is that fair? Like, it's just amusing to me how a lot of people seem to think that, okay, if we enforce this or reinforce that, that'll make things fair. But it doesn't. Because you can't make things fair. Like, you just can't. And so I think that these people, they just live in this little fantasy world. And it makes sense why they're, you know, like, in favor of, like, kids taking hormone blockers and just people saying, like, oh, you have to abide by what I say about myself. And I mean, whatever, like, that's you. Like, I don't give a fuck what you want me to call you. That's not a big deal. But it's just this idea of, like, you know, like, you live in a little pretend world where, you know, you really want to believe these certain things. Like, not just about yourself, but like about the world, about you. You want to think you're a victim all the time. Like if people don't adhere to your stupid ass bullshit, then you're a victim. Or, you know, if somebody like misunderstands you or they accidentally call you the wrong thing, it's like you're gonna pitch a fucking hissy fit over that. I mean, come the fuck on, man. I don't get this culture. I don't understand why people are, they're not only subscribing to it, but it's like if they have an issue with it, they don't say anything about it. And fuck that. You know, and I guess I didn't do stand-up comedy for a long time because honestly, like I had developed a pretty large resentment towards like the stand-up comedy scene in Nashville. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, it's not really fair for me to hold this grudge against them all because, you know, they're doing what's in their social programming. Like, they don't want to cause trouble and they just want everybody to get along. So they're doing the whole collectivist thing and they're just going along with the status quo. But that's totally contrary to, you know, art and stand-up comedy. And if you're like, it's not even about me. It's not even about like, oh, I said some fucked up shit. I got in trouble because I used the N-word and I, you know, upset somebody that made a big deal about it over the internet. But the thing is, like, I tried talking to her. I tried confronting her about it and she didn't want to talk to me. She still, you called me a racist. She still like said all this shit about me. And I mean, even like weeks later, she was still talking shit about me. And so it was like, I mean, you can't fix people that are determined to see themselves as a victim. Like you can't, like, and I knew that, like, I had to clean up my side of the street. I had to indicate to her that no, I wasn't like out to get you. I wasn't purposely trying to hurt your feelings. I wasn't purposely trying to make fun of you and how you identify yourself, you know, but after I, you know, explained that to her in every way that I possibly could, and she still reacted the way that she did, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. You know, and fuck anybody that is like that bitch, you know, because that's just so lame. And she's not a real comic and she's not a real artist. And the thing is, I feel like the reason why she was so mad at me is because I made something funny that she couldn't. And I mean, I get it. I get the whole jealousy thing. I get the whole like rivalry, but like, that's not what I'm about. I'm libertarian, non-aggression principle, you know, stand by it. So, you know, I'm not just going to start shit, especially shit I can't finish, you know? Like I was trying to finish that shit, even though I didn't start it and I wasn't trying to, you know, cause any drama. But because she's a dramatic person, I think she's some cross between a histrionic and borderline. I don't know though. I'm not her shrank. But I bet you the bitch is on psychiatric drugs. But like, it's just ridiculous that people didn't stick up for me based off of, you know, comedy. Just, it's not like you have to support me. It's not about me. Like I said, it's about the principle of it. Like I should be able to say the things I want to say, just like she should be able to say the things she wants to say. Doing stand-up comedy in a comedy setting at an open mic. Like that's crazy that people wouldn't stick up for that, especially when there are other comics, you know? But it's not just here though. Like what happened with her, I was like, fuck, like this is happening everywhere, all over the country, all over the world. And you know, what happened with me was like tip of the iceberg. I mean, some motherfucker was fined like $150,000 because he made fun of some cancer patient up in Canada. And I highly doubt the person that fined him that much, I highly doubt that they had fucking cancer. I'm sure that it was a friend of a friend of a friend who had cancer and they were just white knighting. Because anybody that actually has cancer would not get offended by a cancer joke. They'd probably appreciate it, number one. And number two, they could take the joke because of what they've been through. You know, anybody that's been through a lot of shit can definitely take a joke. So I don't have any fucking patience for these people. Like, I have a lot of patience, I have a lot of tolerance, I have a lot of compassion, a lot of empathy, but I do not have it for these PC police and pandering pansy motherfuckers. I do not. I believe you guys know about the acronym that I said, HWJ, PCPPPCAs. That's hokey wokey jokey PC police and pandering pansy candy asses. Fuck them. I hope they commit suicide. All of them collectively, that's what they deserve. They want to do everything else collectively. Why can't they just collectively kill themselves? Nobody would miss them. Ruining everything. Pissing in the punch bowl of every party that they go to, essentially. Fuck these people. Fuck these people. Fuck these people. Anyway. Maybe you should start getting high again, because these anger issues are too much. Are they really? I do like getting high, but I like being productive more. I like reading, I like writing, I like actually doing jokes. I like CBD a lot too. But, you know, I'm not, like I told people, I was like, don't get your hopes up. This isn't like, oh, I'm never doing this again. I vowed to not do that anymore, to not like make these promises. Because you just never know what'll happen in life, but there are certain things I try to stay away from because I know I can't handle them. With marijuana, that's like a different story, but it's just like, with schizophrenia, it's like you're kind of fucking with your illness when you smoke weed or you eat weed or whatever. Like it's just. But the thing is, like, psychosis isn't as bad as a lot of people think that it is. But like that's just because I know how to navigate it. But yeah. I do like my life now, though. But we'll see what happens. Bye-bye. I can never find the off button in time. It's right there. It's the fucking red button. God, my yellow teeth are absolutely disgusting. Don't think that I'm not aware. I think this tooth is bleeding. All right, goodbye.